Hi, I'm Yuki. This is my first EDC video. EDC stands for Everyday Carry. It's about the items that you carry around with you every day in order to get the things you need done in life, as well as protect yourself and just generally be prepared for things that might come up. These are all items that you'll generally find inside my pockets except for the giant thermos. In addition to everything that you see here, there's also my cell phone. Unfortunately, I can't put my cell phone in the video because the cell phone is currently being used to create the video. The cell phone is a Samsung Note 8. It's got a stylus built in, a little easy access notepad. It's really good for audio video stuff, and that's why I'm using it for audio video stuff at this particular moment in time. So going from right to left, I'm going to start with the top. Obviously there's some crossover. I'm going to go with the top row first and kind of explain what you see here. So first, let's just get the giant thermos out of the way. My Stanley Aladdin thermos is, well, this is the Stanley Classic. It's not the original Aladdin. Main difference is that it has metal inside instead of glass inside as the lining. There's upsides and downsides to that. Glass, obviously, if you use milk or anything else as far as like creamers, additives, or anything to your coffee, is not going to take on as much flavor as you might take on when you're using a metal lined one. I drink my coffee black, so that's not really a problem. But I've always got my thermos with me for a couple reasons. One, I work weird hours, so I constantly need to do anything I can to try and stay awake. It's sometimes difficult. I also have a 1-year-old, so yeah, coffee's important just as a necessity. Another thing is that actually I learned from truck drivers and other people growing up that this particular type of thermos can be used for self-defense if needed. It's sort of a last resort, or if it's the thing near you and you are stopping a carjacker or something, it could be useful. I've never had to use it that way. I hope I never do. I hope to just keep it full of coffee and drink a lot of coffee because I like coffee. Now, up at the very top row, because we're starting from top left, moving our way to top left, from top left to top right, and then down the next levels. You've got a watch. This is not the only watch I wear, but it's the one I was wearing today, and it's one of the more useful watches that I wear. It's a Casio G-Shock G100-1BV, I think is the model number for it, the identification number or whatever. Basically, it's an analog and a digital, and it has an alarm. It does dual times. It has really well illuminated hands, kind of well illuminated numbers, and it has electroluminescence on the digital screen. So I can use it to tell time anytime I need to, as well as also to set alarms and just general stuff that you use watches for. Watches are good to have around. Next up is my wallet. Currently I'm using a camouflage wallet that with Velcros. It's made of nylon. I got it for really cheap at a Goodwill. I like it. I've tried a bunch of different wallets. This one seems to do a really good job. In addition to, of course, my ID, my debit card, my credit card, and some cash. I usually also keep a multi-tool, but we'll go over the multi-tool when we get to the next level. So immediately to the right of that is going to be my carabiner and keychain. It's got a key fob on it. It's got a flashlight. That little silver thing's a flashlight. It's got a key that's not really a key, but is in fact a bottle opener, which is kind of silly because you can use pretty much anything to open a bottle, but that's a convenient one, and I can hand it off to other people if I need to and they don't know how to open with various other items like a lighter or something. Also, you may see is a key-shaped folding blade. Oh man, I wish I remember what brand it was. I'm actually going to end up in the shot real quick here so I can find out what brand it is. It's SOG or SOG. SOG. I don't know if you can see that. You can also see the bottle opener clearly here. But I thought that was a cool little toy. I always like to have a knife on me, and sometimes I forget my other knife, and sometimes people won't let you into places with knives, and one that looks like a key sometimes gets overlooked, and that's nice. Not that I recommend going into places that don't allow knives with knives. That's probably not a thing to recommend. Also on top of that is my SIM card remover. You can see it on the bottom of the fob right now. I always forget about that, but you sometimes need a SIM card remover. Sometimes you just need a little pokey thing. Changing the clock on your, change the time on your clock inside your minivan. Sometimes you got to use a little pokey thing. Now to the right of that are going to be 3 items that I'm going to sort of go over together, and that's my 3 sets of keys. The blue one is my house keys. It gets me in the front door and the back door. The second one that's red. That one is my work keys. It gets me into my offices, and it gets me into rooms, and allows me to make deposits at the bank. Even if they're really big, fat, night safe deposits. You shouldn't follow me around at night, and yeah, don't pay attention to that. There's also a vehicle key. Honestly, I usually leave that inside the vehicle, but it ends up on my keychain enough that it's there. So the next level is starting back over by the watch and the thermos. We've got a little card, a little multi-tool. Let me grab that as well and put it in front of the camera. So this is a little multi-tool. It's got bottle opener, blade, saw. It's got a straight edge. It's got measuring tools. It's got wrenches. It's got a bit holder. It's got lots of nice little things that you can use to do a lot of stuff. That's the thing that fits inside my wallet, and it's pretty much always there in the wallet, and I don't use it much, but it's there in case I need it. Next to that is my folding utility knife. I use a Husky that I've had for a really long time, and I like these because the blade is removable. If you're trying to enter a place that doesn't allow knives, they'll usually just take the blade and let you keep your knife. So I recommend having a folding utility knife. They're great for opening boxes. They're great for cutting paper into shapes, various things that you need a knife that's not very long for. And I don't like long knives. I don't like fixed blade knives. I like little folding knives because I'd only use them for like little utility tasks, and that's exactly what this is designed for. Next to that is my Bic lighter. You need a Bic lighter. Even if you don't smoke, which I don't smoke, you need a Bic lighter. They're great for one is opening bottles. And you just never know when you need a source of light, a source of flame, a source of ability to keep yourself warm. And honestly, socially, it's nice to be able to light someone else's cigarette. I am actually a big fan of doing that sort of thing, being ready to help somebody else out when they need just a mild inconvenience taken care of for them. I used to keep that thing on a lighter leash. I can't find my lighter leash. If I find my lighter leash, I'll attach it to that again. But if not, it just goes in the pocket and it's fine. Next to that is just a handkerchief. I get them at Bi-Mart. They come in a 3-pack for $3. And you need a handkerchief. I use them to wipe sweat. I use them to blow my nose. I use them to clean my glasses. I use them as a coaster when I need something to set a drink on and there isn't a coaster handy and I don't want to mess up the table that I'm putting it on or whatever other surface I'm putting it on. In general, it's good to have a handkerchief. You can use them for a lot of things, but I recommend changing it every day. Buy enough of them that you can just toss them in the laundry at the end of every day and grab another one in the morning. But always keep one in your pocket. It's very useful. We're going back to the left again, and we're looking at a pen. It's a clicky pen. It's metal. There's not really anything exciting about that. It doesn't smear too much, but it writes smoothly. Keep a pen around. They're good. There's a comb next to that, and that's for doing your hairs. If your hairs are sticking up, you got to put them back down again. And so a comb is a good way to do that. Below that is a memo book. That actually kind of goes with the pen. The memo book and the pen, they're buddies. I've got a Note 8 I can write in my phone. I rarely do. It's easier to write on paper, and then you can transfer it into your calendar or whatever at a later date or later time. It's just, that's a better way to do it. Paper is a good thing. You can write down numbers. You can write down words. You can draw things. Paper. I like paper. And last but not least is my flashlight. I have a little tiny flashlight on my keychain, but I like to keep another flashlight. This one, let me grab it. This one is by ProTech, or maybe it's iProTech. I'm not sure what the name of the brand is, but what I like about it is that it's super bright. It's super tiny. Woo! Very bright. It has a thumb thingy. I can stick it in my mouth when I need to. I can clip it to my pants or my shirt when I need to. And these little guys up at the front, pretty sure it could perform a lobotomy if you were in an emergency. Once again, never have to use it for that. But you may notice that they're kind of worn. That's because I do use it for opening bottles. That's a theme. That's a good thing to be able to open bottles. And pretty much everything I own, you can open a bottle with, because you can open a bottle with pretty much anything, including another bottle. So these are the things that I carry every day, just in my pockets and on me. The thermos doesn't go in my pockets, but honestly, like, it's with me every day, everywhere I go. So that's another item. Everything else just goes in the pockets and stays there, and you don't really notice it when I'm walking around. But I like to think that I'm pretty prepared for most situations that'll pop up on a daily basis, and I usually feel like I am. And when situations pop up, I usually just take care of them and keep moving on. And that's the goal, I think, with an everyday carry setup, is to be able to accomplish the goals that you need with ease and without difficulty. So hopefully everybody out there is able to do that. So these are the things I carry every day. If you have an EDC, you can leave it in a comment. You can make your own video and tell me about it in the comments. Just carry stuff with you every day, and hopefully you can keep it small, keep it portable, and stay prepared.